In America, we shouldn't need to say that parents speaking out about their children's education aren't domestic terrorists, or that those raising concerns about the radical direction the left is trying to take this country are not domestic terrorists, or that Trump supporters aren't domestic terrorists, but apparently we do, because the Biden administration is bound and determined to demonize anyone and everyone not in lockstep with their far left agenda. Last September, the Biden White House colluded with the National School Boards Association to orchestrate a letter to President Biden that portrayed concerned parents speaking out at school board meetings as security threats. The letter urged the president to use the Patriot Act to go after America's moms and dads. Just 5 days later, the Attorney General issued a memorandum directing the FBI and U.S. Attorney's offices to address a, quote, disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence at school board meetings. And if you remember, when we had the Attorney General in front of this committee, we asked him about where did they learn about this harassment, this disturbing spike in intimidation? Where did they learn about it? And his response was, from the school board letter that they helped coordinate and put together to send to the White House. The press release that accompanied that memorandum said that Mr. Olson's division, the National Security Division, would be involved in a department-wide effort to target parents. That's right. The division that is supposed to be prosecuting terrorists, protecting us from terrorists, the kind that want to hijack planes and bring down buildings, decided that a priority of this division of the FBI is parents at school board meetings. And oh, guess what? We find out that this whole situation was coordinated. That's right. Like I said earlier, the NSBA letter was a pretext for the memorandum. The letter was instigated by the White House. Documents released by the National School Boards Association show that the White House knew that the letter would urge the administration to invoke the Patriot Act, and the White House raised no objections. In fact, the National School Boards Association admitted that President Biden telephoned the then NSBA president to say that he was appreciative of the letter. When this all came to light and America's parents rightly became outraged, the National School Board Association apologized for its action. The NSBA wrote to its members, quote, "We regret and apologize for the letter." That's a lot more than the Attorney General or the Biden administration has done, because as far as we know, the memorandum is still in place. That's right, as far as we know, the Attorney General's directive to the National Security Division to target moms and dads remains in place. And if this was it, if it was just a political stunt, that would be bad enough. But it's actually much worse. Because of whistleblowers who came forward, we know that the FBI created a threat tag specifically targeting parents, a designation specifically targeting moms and dads. And we know that the FBI opened over 24 investigations into parents merely because they stood up to speak on behalf of their children. We sent countless letters to the DOJ trying to get answers, but have gotten virtually nothing back in response. I'm sure we will have some pointed questions for Mr. Olson today, and I hope that he is prepared to give us answers on the answers our constituents deserve. We also hope he is prepared to talk about the Department of Justice's refusal to address people trying to intimidate Supreme Court justices at their homes and their children's schools. And we have great concerns about the terrorist attacks targeting pro-life facilities and groups around the country. This year, there have been dozens of attacks on these facilities, but the Biden administration seems preoccupied with other politically charged investigations. We'd also like to know why the DOJ is ignoring all the facts coming to light regarding the business dealings and illegal activities of Hunter Biden. In fact, a troubling pattern has come to light recently that indicates the Biden Justice Department seems more focused on politics than it is on fighting crime. And don't forget, this is the division of the Department of Justice that we entrust with immense surveillance powers. The chairman mentioned his reference to FISA. Within the National Security Division is the Office of Intelligence. This office is responsible for preparing and filing all applications pursuant to FISA, as well as appearing before the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. Of course, we all know about the FISA abuses over the past several years and how the Department of Justice and the FBI misused FISA to target the campaign of President Trump. Mr. Olson has been entrusted with a great deal of responsibility. It's our hope that today he's come prepared to answer a great deal of questions this committee has about the Department of Justice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.